back with another episode of Basketball Culture. I'm your host, Ebony.
It's your boy, Tyler, and today we got two guests with us. We got one previous guest from another episode and another special guest from across the states. If you just want to introduce yourself real quick.
You want to go first?
I'm Coach Tim Bush. Head 17U EYBL basketball coach.
Yes. Coach Damien, West Sydney Wolves. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy to be back.
Of course, happy to have you back.
Alright, so usually we do a This Week in Basketball, but it's been quite a while since our last one, so we're just going to skip that today, go straight to our quiz. So that's Tyler with his questions.
So yeah, just a couple quiz questions just for some fun about basketball and NBA maybe. But I think you grew up around Louisiana, New Orleans, so I got, what were the New Orleans Pelicans previously known as?
The New Orleans Pelicans, previously known as, I'm not sure.
They're actually the Hornets.
The Hornets,
and,
okay, yeah.
And then I have a follow-up on that. Who's the all-time leading scorer for the Pelicans?
All-time leading scorer? Is it, it's either Chris Paul, Baron Davis, or Peja Stojakovic.
Actually, Anthony Davis. Yeah. I thought it might be Chris Paul, but I think David West is actually above him as well. I was surprised by that.
Wow.
And then I know you also went to LSU as well, so I got who's the all-time leading scorer for LSU men's basketball team.
Well, we all know who that is.
That's got to be Shaq Daddy, huh?
No, that's the Pistol.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete.
Pete. That's right.
Pistol Pete.
Now that was my freshman year, but I'm a Baylor Bear graduate.
Interesting.
Yes, so I went to LSU for 1 year, then transferred into Baylor and graduated from Baylor.
Okay.
So that's what I'm claiming.
Yep. Well, since you're claiming that, I also got a question about Baylor.
Okay, come on now.
What year?
I see you really did your homework.
What year did Baylor win the national championship?
Come on now, it just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened. So, yeah, it was a great run.
Yep, of course. And then now we usually just do some nicknames of like NBA players, maybe some college players, and if you can just guess who it is. So we got the Diesel, should be easy one.
That's Big Shaq.
Big
Yep.
Shaq. Yep.
And we got another player you mentioned before. We got the point guard.
Oh, Chris Peasy.
Yep. And then I have Mr. Big Shot.
Mr. Big Shot.
That's Robert Horry, right?
Close. That's Big Shot Bob.
Big Shot Bob. Right. Big Shot.
This one's Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey
Chauncey Billups,
Chauncey
yeah.
Billups,
And then I got I have Boogie.
Boogie Cousins.
Yep. Yes, sir. And then I got Jelly Bean.
Oh, that's Kobe's dad.
Kobe's dad.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, overall, pretty well. Did probably one of our highest scorers on this quiz. So, shout out.
A little bit of help, though. A little bit of help.
Very nice. Alright, moving on. So, as you guys know, watching, I don't know if you know, but our podcast is called Basketball Culture. So we always ask our guests, what's your definition of basketball culture? And since Damien has already answered on his episode, it will just be all your answer. No wrong answers.
All yours, brother.
Whatever comes to mind. No pressure.
Wow. What is basketball culture?
Yeah, to you
to
or
me.
to you, yeah.
That's a question. The best way for me to describe basketball culture would be ball is life. Ball is life. So, I mean, it's its own world. It's separate from the rest of the world. Especially the higher you go, the more elite that you become, the more exclusive it becomes. So I guess my best description of basketball culture would be ball is life.
I like that one. Short and simple. I like it.
And well, now I guess it's time to get into the questions. So just start off first with kind of like, what was your childhood like, the area you grew up in, and ultimately how were you introduced to basketball?
My childhood was really rough. It was really rough. I grew up in a very volatile environment. It was, drug infested. A lot of bad things going on in my community. Some forced, some chosen. So I chose basketball. I always played sports. From the age of, I started football when I was at 6 years. Well, you guys call it gridiron. I started gridiron football at 6, and I never lost a football game in my entire career. So I'm undefeated there. I started playing basketball right around the age of probably around 8. Football was my first love. Basketball became my love for basketball. I grew football at some point. But I gravitated to basketball because it was the only thing in my community that I could do and pretty much not be picked with, to be left alone. So I would find myself on the basketball courts. I would get up on the weekends, do all my chores, and by 9 a.m. I was on the basketball court cleaning all the drug paraphernalia, all the broken bottles and glass. I would have to sweep it up and clean it all up to set the court and get it ready for the guys as they start waking up and start coming to the basketball court. So if I wanted to get 5-on-5 basketball games, I had to be the one to clean the court because no one else was going to do it. So I always would have my own basketball net, and I would have the best basketball in the neighborhood. So you had to pick me on your team. If you didn't pick me, I would take my net and I would take my basketball with me and go play somewhere else. So all the guys had to pick me, and so I fell in love with basketball the day that my dad, he passed away 2 years ago. But my dad challenged me and my brother to a basketball game, and he was still in his work clothes, and he had some steel-toe boots on because he was a welder. And he took us to the basketball court, and he beat both of us by himself. So when he did that, my love for basketball went through the roof because it was all about beating my dad. But it just continued to grow, and I just kept training and working out, and then it just took off from there.
I love that. I see like a lot of, I think it happens a lot with like sporty kids. You know, you play more than one sport, and then eventually one sport takes over. And I know I got a kid right now who comes to like where I coach, and he's doing football as well as basketball. And when he first was training with us, I was like, oh, do you want to do any of these? Because we always want to know what our kids want to do. And I was like, oh, which one do you love more? And he's like, oh, football. And then I asked him maybe start of this year or start of last year. And I was like, is it still football that you want to do, or have you switched? And he's like, nah, basketball now. I'm like, hey, let's go. Let's go. I love that. So it's kind of cool that you as well started with football. And then was it at 8, that young, that you switched to basketball, or did it take a while?
What happened, what did it for me was, so I told you I grew up in a very volatile neighborhood. So in 7th grade, I was in a gang. Yes, I was in a gang. I had no choice. Okay, in order for me to walk up and down the street in peace, I needed some camaraderie.
Yeah.
So, but everyone knew my obsession with sports. I was serious about it. At a very young age, I would jog. I was always working out and stuff like that. So I was always obsessed with sports. And there was a guy, a coach, who approached me in the school in front of all my buddies who I consider my gangbanging friends. And he said, hey, you're going to be somebody. You're going to be somebody someday. You're a great leader. And I challenged him on that because I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? First off, you telling me I'm going to be somebody, and I'm around all these jokers who they don't have a pot to pee in and a window to throw it out of. So if they believe I can be somebody, they may take that as a sign of weakness. So I challenged him on that. And then one day he showed up to my community where I was, which is a very dangerous place just to show up. And he showed up, he knocked on my door and offered me a scholarship to an all-boys school. So I ended up taking that scholarship and went to an all-boys school in 8th grade. People that went to that school is Pat Riley with the Miami Heat. He went to that school. Ryan Clark, who's one of the top ESPN analysts right now, he went to that school. So my school put out a lot of big-time famous athletes. The head coach for Grambling State University football, Mickey Joseph, he went to that school. The guy who was the head coach for the Miami Dolphins, who's now one of the top gridiron football coaches in Texas at the University of Texas, he also went to that school. So it's a lot of big-time athletes who came to that school. So it was a great opportunity. It's called Shaw High School. It was an all-boys school. So can you imagine this coach showing up to my house and saying he wants to give me a scholarship to an all-boys school? Oh,
Yeah.
Mom, what in the world? But when I got to the school, because of the community I came from, I was very aggressive at a young age. So it didn't matter to me if you were 12 or if you were 21. I didn't look at you any different because the community didn't treat us any different. So when the adults met me, a lot of them used to bully me because they thought I was just some punk kid that got an opportunity because of sports. In all reality, I was really one of those kids who was going through the rough time that I actually really was going through. And those coaches on the gridiron football team, not the head coach, but the assistant coaches, they bullied me. And so, whereas the basketball coach, he embraced me. And he embraced me, and he actually took the time to help me work through those insecurities that I had. And it forced me to gravitate to basketball more. And then I was actually a better football player than I was a basketball player. I was offered my first scholarship in 8th grade by the #1 team in the country, Florida State, and I was only in 8th grade. So that goes to tell you what kind of football player I was. But the basketball staff, they were more realistic, more understanding to the environment that I was coming from and everything I was going through, and they were more willing to work with me. And so when I saw that, I had to make the decision that was best for me, and that's what made me gravitate to basketball.
Wow. I love that story. Like, honestly, sounds like a movie. They
It
should
is
make
a
it.
movie. It is
Hey,
a movie.
you're the main character. I love it.
It really puts into perspective as well, like the phrase ball is life. I know you mentioned it before, like to some people it's like, oh yeah, you just play it. But others it's like, it's really an escape. Like it helps a lot of people through dark times, tough times, and gives them an opportunity to, escape. So ball is truly life.
It changed my life because when God put that sport in my life, at the time I needed that. My brother, he didn't need that. I needed that. Without that reassurance, without that, okay, this is the path that I'm going to take to get out of this situation, I would have crashed like the rest of my friends. But, by me being committed to it, once I discovered it and committed to it, it was so many people who started sharing their stories with me. In my community, we had a guy who was the #1 point guard in the country. He ended up becoming a drug addict. But at the time when he played amateur sports, he was the #1 player in the country. We had another guy who was a drug addict who played at the University of Colorado. So I had another guy who was a drunkard, okay? And he was a high major basketball player. So when these guys saw me playing ball and they saw the love that I had for it, they would reveal to me their past and their history, which no one in the community knew this about these guys. We just thought they were drug addicts. But they're the ones who taught me the game, and I still use that knowledge today.
Wow. That knowledge is power. 100%. With that aggressiveness that you said that you had, did you ever, like when you were playing basketball or even just in your life, did you have to learn how to manage it and control it, or is it still something that you have now?
Yeah, it was definitely something that I had to be taught how to manage and control. In my younger days, I was, hot-headed and really fast to explode. But my parents, my brothers, they all knew that about me. So they would always pick with me and challenge me and trigger me to prepare me for where I was going. It's important that, the younger you get to face those adversities, the easier it is for you to get rid of it or get it under control, because that's my biggest strength. My biggest strength could also be my biggest weakness if I don't know how to control it. So I coach with the same passion, but I control it. I can't haul off and go punch the referee because he called my coaching career is over. But kids, we're ranked #1 on the Nike circuit. We're #1 in the country. We coached, I coached Aaliyah Chavez, who just signed with Kobe Bryant's Mamba Elite brand. She's the only athlete on the Kobe Bryant Mamba Elite brand, and she was my point guard last year, and I coached her with that same passion and aggression. Kids love when you coach them hard, when you push them, as long as when you talk, you're actually talking about something that helps them.
Yeah.
I don't just coach hard just because I'm just this crazy aggressive person, but when you want to be great, or you chasing your dreams and your goals, you have to be aggressive about it. So that's my coaching style.
I love that. And how do you, like, for the people listening at home who might be struggling with managing their own anger, how would you say that you harness it and, like, make sure that, like, it doesn't like go over the line?
Well, you have to be in a controlled environment where people actually care about you. It's important that you get in an environment where people actually care about kids or care about people. Just because you have a great sports program doesn't mean that you actually are meant to care for people. I was around my family. My family actually cared about me, my well-being. They wanted to see me live. They wanted to see me be successful. They wanted to see me reach my dreams and goals. So that was one of the things I had to master and conquer. So when you're around people that care about you, they're going to trigger you, right? I have to test you. I have to put you through these tests until you show me you can pass it on a consistent basis. But I will tell you this, once you master that test, then you can excel to the next level.
Yeah, I think what makes a great sports program is the balance of pushing athletes hard, but also that balance of having that care factor for that athlete as a person. And I think that's the perfect combination for a good program, a good sports program, because they're athletes, and yes, they're pushed and they're challenged to be at their best, and they're pushed out of their comfort zone, but they're still human beings. They're still people. They still have feelings, and they still have emotions. And those are the things that, as a program or as a coach, you still have to keep those things in mind, keep those things in perspective. Because, again, it's really about the life skills that we're really trying to teach. A lot of the things that we are teaching on the basketball court, a lot of it is transferable. And it's really about the life skills that you really can instill in all those athletes. And that's really what as coaches, that's really what our main goal is. We want to see kids as they grow up and as they leave a program, we want to feel proud that they're good people. In addition to being good athletes, they're good people. And for us, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because over the years and stuff on social media, you see some stories kind of how, like, people say a coach made me lose the love of the game or stuff like that because they pushed them maybe, but then they didn't also relate to them as a human. So that's something I respect about.
You have to watch the balance. You don't want to push too far to the point where you lose an athlete, because every person is temperamental in their own way, and there are tipping points for every person, and it's good that you can be able to gauge what those tipping points are.
Yep, and I'll say it a different way. Every kid doesn't need to be coached that way. Absolutely. I don't coach every kid the same way.
The same way, absolutely.
Every kid that I coach is based on who this kid is and my relationship with this kid.
That's right.
There's some kids I don't say anything to. They don't need me to say anything. Right. Some kids already, when they make a mistake, they beat themselves down, so they need more uplifting. I have a player right now, I will not say her name, but she's ranked very high, let's say that. She's one of the next big faces in women's basketball. I cannot crush her. Sometimes she does things and I'm very upset, and I have to catch myself and I go, hey, come on, I need that effort out of you, or are you going to sit on the bench? The consequences of a lack of effort are still going to be the same. Well, but I'm going to coach her that way, as opposed to if I'm talking to my point guard, I'm like, hey, yo, come on, what are you doing? Let's go. Right. You the girl, I need you, you know?
Yeah, delivery has to be different sometimes. It's just like the game of basketball. You can't play every team the same way. You have to play teams differently, just the same way you have to coach players differently. Yeah. And you just have to know how to unlock their full potential. And unlocking their full potential could be in a variety of different ways.
That's the gift.
Yeah.
See, that's the gift. The gift is being able to unlock a kid's full potential. And that's the thing that's God-given. You could be a great coach, but that don't mean you know how to unlock everybody's potential. We win all the time because that's what's important. I'm going around trying to figure out each kid, what do you need from me to help you be the best version of yourself? And that's what we do for kids.
I love that. Sorry, did I take away?
It's good, it's good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I love that you guys said that, how like some kids, humans are different. So some people, you need to talk to them differently. I love that you guys noted that and like understand that, because I think definitely that's something that some people don't understand, even like just outside of basketball as well, just like in life in general, like in every situation, humans are different. The way you speak to people sometimes needs to be different. Some people might need tough love, and some people, like you said, that girl on your team might need, something else.
Yeah. And that goes back to what Coach said, ball is life.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's basketball imitating life.
Exactly.
And it's the same approach in life. So, that's why I think that's why that term resonates so much when we hear it, like basketball is life. Because for us it is. It really is life,
Yeah, 100%.
Just wanted to touch base. I believed you played professionally over multiple different countries. So just want to know kind of did you make the switch towards coaching? Like, was it an idea you always kind of had, or did it come later? Were you introduced to it, or kind of just how you came into the coaching roles?
That's a great question, young man. And you guys are doing a fabulous job. I'm more so marveling at how well of a job you guys are doing than anything. So I want to make sure I compliment you on that. And I'm just very impressed with you. But I will tell you, I never thought I was going to be a coach. Never. I would have people come to me and say, "Man, you gonna be a great coach someday." I'm like, I am not coaching.
Yeah.
That is not in my agenda. One of my prophetess came to me and said, "I had a dream. You were coaching and developing talent, and you were great. You were big time." And I did not receive that. I was like, I had other plans, and it did not involve working with children. But my last game was in China, and my foot was, I had got a heel spur, and I still could play on it, but I knew it was my last game. In that last game, I had like 28, 15, and 7. And when I walked off the court, I said I was done. And all the guys on the team with me were like, what? Are you crazy? You just had the game. Like, dude, you back. You're balling, man. This is it for you. Like,
your body was
I said, no, I barely can walk. It's over. Yeah. And I'm in the house with my wife, and I'm job searching, and I'm struggling finding a job that's suitable for me. And eventually I just threw my hands in the air and said, I'm going to coach. I'm going to coach. I applied for a job. I literally went on the coach's website and I started applying for jobs. And it was a small school in Texas, in the States. And I applied to the school and they invited me to an interview. And I really dragged my feet to it. I'm like, am I really about to do this? So I go down and I'm sitting in this interview, and the guy is going through the history of the school. It's a gridiron football school. These kids really don't play basketball. They've never won in school history. Never even made it to the playoffs. So you want to talk about one of the toughest jobs out there. This is one of the toughest jobs.
Bad News Bears of basketball.
Oh my God. So I ended up taking the job, and I was able to lead them to their first playoff berth, their first playoff win. And then the second year, we were ranked out of like 10 teams, we were ranked 3rd in the district. So, which was in the States is like really huge, especially for them because they never did it. And so I've just been kind of going ever since.
It's definitely comes a full circle moment how you said that school was kind of known for the gridiron, which kind of relates back to your backstory and stuff. So yeah, definitely interesting to hear that. And just want to also kind of, how would you describe, because you said they didn't really play basketball, so it's kind of like a grassroots kind of operation. How would you describe coaching from then compared to when you first like played up and coming? Like, what was the culture like? Were people more like willing to learn and stuff, kind of put in the work, or was it just kind of just whatever?
Well, I mean, these are the kids our coach. They're kind of country kids, so they're used to working hard. They're used to, you know, giving 110% of their effort, whether they're hauling hay or milking cows. So you know that you're going to have kids with great attitudes, great work ethic. So now it's, okay, can they make a layup? And, you know, that was difficult. So, but it challenged me because I'm a winner, and there's no way I can accept losing. So it challenged me and made me dig deeper into my own creativity when it comes to development. And I had to get it done really fast and be very unique about how I get these guys to learn how to play the game. Guys who don't play it on a regular basis. None of these guys are going to college for basketball. You know, they all want to play gridiron football. So how can I win with such a small team, such a small school, and keep my reputation as a winner? And what it did is it just opened my mind up to a lot of different things, and God just channeling just new creative ideas to me that haven't been discovered. And I just implemented that, and we were able to have success. You know, with kids, as long as you're willing to give 110% of your effort, you have a great attitude, and you willing to learn, you can accomplish anything.
When you guys have a kid that like that doesn't have that effort, like doesn't want to participate, maybe they have skill or something, or I don't know, but like they don't, like you can tell they don't really want to be there, or like they might have potential, but I don't know, their head's just somewhere else. Do you find it harder to like coach them, or is it the same?
For me personally, I wouldn't say it's harder to coach them, because you gotta remember you are coaching a team, and usually in team dynamics, you're always gonna find one or two players who are not fitting the bill for whatever reason, whether it's a skill perspective or whether it's a mentality. But what you always want to try to do is drive a universal message to a team, and you actually want that universal message to sort of hit the other player who may not be fitting that bill. But there are things that are sometimes uncontrollable, right? But what you don't do is you don't lose yourself as a coach, and you don't lose your mission as the team you're trying to coach and where you're trying to get to. You know, perfect scenario, the perfect situation, all 10, 12 guys are all on board, same page, they coming with 110%, they buying in, whether they get 15 minutes or whether they get 2 minutes, they still buy in. It's a one team, it's a one unity type of thing. That's the perfect scenario. But as a coach, and as many teams that I've coached, that's not always the perfect scenario. You try your best. But with juniors, it's great because you can always have a conversation with parents and so forth to try to see if there's a way we can collaborate together to, again, like we just talked about, unlocking that player's potential, full potential. You know, sometimes it has to be somewhat of a holistic approach, whereas you can't just put it all on yourself as the coach, because you may not be able to get to that kid the way that maybe a parent can help you get to that kid. So, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. I think for me, it's just you try to take the best holistic approach possible, but can't control everything. You know, that's what I would say. Yeah.
And what about you? Would you say the same thing, or he thought
Give me on that phone.
Well, you know, my current situation, I'm in a very unique situation. Like, you can't put on a uniform unless you're you know, all 10 players are legit. Yeah. All 10.
10 dogs. 10 dogs.
It's every player is a big time player. But I have been in those kind of situations before. You know, it's an opportunity to teach kids to care about something bigger than yourself. Because part of being great is also learning how to be a servant. right? I'm coaching the number one player in the country. She's used to dropping 50 points, 40 points. And now here comes this new coach, and I'm like, hey, you need to pass the ball. You need to pass the ball. Well, it's the number 10 girl on the bench you telling me to pass it to. Yeah, do you want to win the championship or what? Because it's all of us here, not just you. So, I mean, a lot of times with kids, if I'm not giving 110% of my effort, that's not a sports thing. That's a life thing. So now I'm trying to see, like, what's going on with you. If you don't care about the sport and you're here, then I need to know why you're here. I need to know your why. I need to know what's going on. And if you want to be here while giving 110% of your effort, that's a non-negotiable. I don't negotiate on effort and energy. When a parent drops a kid off to me, they expect me to get 110% of an effort out of their kid. It doesn't matter if the kid can make layups or shoot jump shots, but we have to have a collective mindset on that part, because that part will follow you through the rest of your life. Now, there's some kids who on teams, like, this kid is who they are, who they are. But at the same time, that doesn't mean I'm still not going to drive home the same point. And I'm not going to punish you for it. But at the same time, like, in this big game, you can't touch the court. Now, when he turns 21, 22, 23, it may click. But he's not going to remember me for being the coach who used to put him down because he couldn't figure, or she couldn't figure things out when they were 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. I'm very big on, I need to know what's going on with this kid. If I can't get what I need to get, I need to know what's going on, because that'll help me understand how to help them better. And maybe they just need a place, they need an environment, they need a home. Yeah. And maybe we provide that for them, and we're willing to do that,
Yeah, I really love that, because the reason I asked that question is because for me as a coach, right now for coaching, like, I don't see myself going any further with it. So it's just like something I do on the weekends, and here and there maybe someone might ask, oh, do you want to coach this team? I usually say yes, and then nothing comes for it. So I'm just just coaching on Saturdays right now. That's it. But the place that I coach at, Charity Bounce, we pretty much what you guys have said about, like, creating those life skills through basketball. That's what we try and do. We don't just want to focus on basketball and that's it. It's about life. So, like, we might have kids who don't want to, well, right now most of our kids want to do basketball, but before we had other kids who didn't care about basketball at all. They were just there for fun, just get some exercise. So I'd ask them, what do you want to do in life, and, like, help them with that as well. And so sometimes we get kids who, like I was saying, with that effort, like, they're not really putting in effort or that. And, like, they're saying, oh, I want to play basketball. But then it's like, we're asking you to do floaters, and they're like, oh, but why do I need to know how to do a floater? Like, I don't need to know how to do that. I never use it in game. Like, whoa, what do you mean? So for me as a coach, because, like, I wouldn't say, like, I'm a great coach or anything like that. So coaching is just, like, I don't know how to explain it.
It's a practice. Coaching is a practice. So, and sorry to cut you off, but I always look at coaching as a practice, right? Because here you could be in year 1 coaching, and you could be in year 10 coaching. Both of you will still be learning how to coach. No matter when you started, no matter where you at, you're still going to be learning as a coach. Because as we always say, there's levels to this, right? And there's many levels to this. So, yeah, I don't, I don't look at coaches as far as, we can get into experience and how much experience you has, and that can play a role in winning games and losing games and so forth. But sometimes you never know. The coach who's been coaching for 15 years could lose to a coach who's only been coaching for 2 years. Those things happen, and that's the beauty of coaching, because again, there's so many dynamics that go into the game of basketball, and there are so many uncontrollables. Like, there are so many things you really can't control, that it elates you, but it also humbles you. It also humbles you. It really does humble you. Even in your biggest wins, sometimes you can become humble, knowing that you actually could have lost the game. Knowing that from some stroke of luck, your player hit the winning shot. You know, so it does humble you. You know, and I've, you know, just last weekend just won a grand final, MJL grand final, Division I under 16 boys. And to be fairly honest, we played a terrible game. You know, and their best quarter was their third quarter, and that team is a team of no wilt. They just don't wilt. Would I consider myself out coaching the other coach? I wouldn't say I did. I mean, I put some X's and O's at the end of the game where it gave us somewhat of an advantage, but for the most part, those kids played their tails off. And I was just fortunate to have a group of boys who just never caved in. They never gave up. Even when it looked like the lights were out, you know, like fourth quarter, 9 points down, 3 minutes left. No quit, you know. And even in that win, it humbled me. It humbled me to know that, hey, that's how delicate this game is. You really have to be switched on. You have to take it as it comes. Wins, losses, they all come. You know, you're happy to just be on the winning side, but it's not always the case. You know, so that's the most humbling part of what we do. You know, knowing that, you know, I win the championship today, and, you know, maybe next year I may not. You know, but that's what we live for. That's the part of this life that we're in. And we love it. We love it for that.
Yeah, let's talk about the other side of it. The real side of it. The competition side of it. Because the reality of the situation is like basketball is about the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
You know, like the best facing the best, right? If I love this game and I hear there's a guy in Russia that can play ball, he's supposed to be better than me, I'll take a bus there if I can get there. I'll ride a bike there to play that guy. And I'll do whatever I can to get that matchup, and that's what it's about. You know, basketball. Yeah. At you know, the reality of it is we want the matchups, right? That's what we want. We want to play against the best of the best. If I get dominated, so be it. Yeah. But I won't know until I know. Yeah. That's what we want.
Yeah. A game of measures. You want to keep continuously measuring, and as coaches, we want to continuously measure ourselves against other coaches. You know, and respectfully too, because, you know, even in that loss or that win, we can learn something from another coach. You know, so yeah, we embrace all aspects of this game, because that's what helps us become who we are. That's what helps us elevate to where we want to get to. Yeah.
Kind of speaking on all aspects of the game, I just want to touch kind of what's your guys' approach on the new like positionless basketball, like, because I know kind of like when you used to grow up, like if you're tall, you're the center, but nowadays so many unique skill sets, everyone has a different skills that they have, necessarily not involving height. How do you guys balance it out and like truly maximize each player's potential with that?
I've always been a positionless player. I've never played one position. I'm what you call a tweener. I don't have a position. I never had a position, so it's always been my style of play, which is why I believe also right now I'm having so much success on the coaching side, because I understand the tweener position more than anyone. You know, tweeners are like some of the most dangerous players, because once they know how to exploit mismatches, it's hard to stop them. And that's really what it is. I mean, you're creating all these combo players. Now, if you come in, they're still the same players who are like, you still have your ones, your twos, your threes, your fours, and your fives. They still exist. If you come in and you're a legit five, then you're going to play five. But if you're not a legit five, then you're going to have to fit into that positionless basketball if you want to play at a high level. But I never like when coaches tell me how to play offensively. I used to look at my high school coach and be like, hey, don't tell me how to play. I would tell my coach, don't tell me how to play, because I knew how to play and I knew how to win games. Well, my coach was like, well, if you want to average 40 a game, why won't you just go to the post and just score 40? I'm like, because I can do it off the dribble as well. And sometimes it's easier off the dribble than it is from the post. Okay, that's fine. As long as you're winning games, what is coach going to say? But it's when positionless basketball, it's great, but it's not great. It's great, but it's not great.
It's a double-edged sword. Yeah,
it's a double-edged sword because in positionless basketball, people think that means that because you're running this offense, you get to dribble the ball and shoot the ball, and you can't dribble and you can't shoot. Positionless basketball is for players who can do it all.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not a player who can do it all, you have to figure out how do you fit in within that level of play. And it takes away from certain aspects of the game that is legendary.
Right.
Like people say Shaquille O'Neal. I heard Chet from OKC said that Shaq would struggle in today's league. So Chet, if you're listening, all the way from Australia, you're out of your mind. You go to sleep. Shaq would destroy this league.
Yeah, right now.
Destroy this league. Destroy.
Yeah.
He would average 50 points easily because you don't even have guys with the mass to stop a guy like that.
Well, not only 50 points, he probably averaged 30 rebounds because there's nobody under the basket now.
Straight out.
So for me, I think the whole term positionless basketball, I think it's been overly used, and I think a lot of people don't quite understand what it really means.
Right.
For me, positionless basketball means space. It really is about space, right? Because ultimately why you sort of play this positionless style of basketball is to create space. Now, just because he's a big, that doesn't mean that he has to, like Coach just said, that doesn't mean he plays out in the corner and now he's dribbling and shooting. No. He's playing out in the corner to space the floor, right? And then you can utilize a big that if he's not a shooter or a ball handler, you can utilize him for a lot of off-ball screening and rolling and so forth. So I think people get this perception of positionless basketball. I think they kind of confusing what it really is supposed to mean. And for me, I think it means more about space than actually 5 guys doing the same thing, dribbling, passing, and shooting. Now, mind you, there are guys out there that are 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", who can dribble, pass, and shoot, but not a lot of guys like that.
Right.
There are not a lot of Kevin Durant's.
Right.
Yep.
He's a freak. There are not a lot of guys like that. So, but the league and using their metrics, and they try to develop a lot more Kevin Durant's because they see how effective that can be. But there's not many guys that can do what Kevin Durant actually does.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I had to guard him.
Yeah, so
Damn.
I had to guard him.
Yeah, so I think that's where we need to, as coaches, we need to be able to really identify what positionless basketball really means, and especially to younger kids, because younger kids are hearing this term a lot more now, and so you got, the big kid on the young team who thinks, I want to dribble the ball like Kyrie Irving. No, that's not what positionless basketball means. So yeah, I think that's what I think as coaches we need to be teaching. Like the positionless basketball is really about the spacing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is a double-edged sword, like you said, especially for like social media and stuff nowadays. Some people might see Wemby one-legged free pulling up, and now you got all these younger kids that just shooting threes. It's
true.
You still got to play to your strengths,
That's
but
right.
it's like when they try to stop those strengths, now the positionless, all the other skills you learn, now you can go to that
That's
backup kind of.
That's right. Right. Because here's my thing. Point guards can post up as well, right? So that's where the positionless thing is kind of confused, because ultimately it's about creating mismatches. So if you have a point guard who has someone who's guarding him who's not as strong or may not be as big, then that point guard now can become like your quote big.
Yes,
Play in the low post position.
Yep, and not to cut you off, because think about it. A point guard can exploit that post mismatch because most point guards aren't used to having to guard people who know how to post up. So it's about exploiting mismatches.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm happy you guys said that. I have a question with like versatility for you as a shooting guard, and then as the 4 as well. It said that you would switch between those two, power forward and shooting guard. Do you think that like players now, like talking about positionless basketball, do you think that they should still like focus on what you're good? Like, say I'm good at shooting, should I focus on that and really master that, or do you think it's better to still to be that versatile and like focus on everything? Like, obviously, don't just focus on shooting. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, I don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? No?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, you know, mixed martial arts, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to master one thing.
Yeah.
And then once I master it, doesn't mean I don't stop working on it. I move to master the next thing. I want to master as many things as I can. I don't want to be good at a lot of things, you know. There are players, it's a difference, like Jordan was a master at what he did. He mastered the game of basketball. Well, what made him master it? Well, Jordan understood that my hang time, my speed and quickness, the size of my hands gave me an advantage over everyone, and he mastered that advantage. You know, LeBron James is 6'8", 4'3", 4'4", 40, running down the court, 260 pounds. He mastered passing. He mastered, you know, the athleticism part of it. Some players master two things. Some players have one thing mastered. Dennis Rodman was a master at defense and rebounding. You can master more than one thing, but if shooting is your thing, believe it or not, if you can shoot the lights out and that's what you do, you can go play NBA basketball. Because when everyone sees you, they're going to say, hey, that guy he shoot the leather off that thing. You know, but some people in today's game, it's more advanced to the point where they master multiple different things and they're good at some of the things, you know?
Yeah, I think today's players, especially when you get to that level, when you make it to the league. Obviously, the league looks at you and you either drafted or, you know, you get signed because you do come with at least one incredible skill that is in that 1 percentile, you know, range as far as skill, whether that's shooting, defense, rebounding, speed and athleticism, whatever those categories you sit in and you come into that space with, that's where they grab you. Now, today's players, yes, they get picked based on that particular skill that they really do well, but today's players, they take their skills to the next level because what they do over time is they build their repertoire. And so you see players who come into the league, they might come into the league as a really good shooter or a really good defender. And then 3 years later, you start to see other facets of their game. These guys are taking a lot of time in investing into their careers and investing into their game. And that's why you see so many players have long basketball careers because they figured it out. Like, I better start stacking my repertoire on both sides of the floor so that bag can get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep.
So, you know, and a credit to these athletes today because they figured it out. Like, the money's there. It's a job. I better do this job as well as I can do it for as long as I can do it. And that's what they do. And a credit to them. So, yeah, that's what I see now. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that adaptability is both like vital for coaches and also players alike. Because, like you said, a player like Brook Lopez, for example, I remember he's on the Nets. he was really a post player. Like,
Yeah.
that's all he did. Like, he used to score a lot.
Now he's like shooting 40-something for three.
And then he went to the Bucks and stuff. He's raining
There you
threes,
go.
shot blocking. Like,
There you go.
And I
it's
saw him
crazy.
when he was in high school.
Yeah.
damn.
So I never would have thought he would grow to be that kind of player, but he did.
Yeah, it's,
He was able to extend his career because of it.
That's right. And that's exactly what happens. They extend their career and their pockets. That's for sure. Yeah.
so we talked a lot about kind of like your upbringing and like your coaching and stuff. So kind of just want to ask, what's next for Australia and with the Wolves? What do you have planned, and what's your upcoming event? You want to talk about that?
I guess that's on me. Well, so Coach Tim and I, we met through a mutual friend, Coach Ivan Jasper. Great friend, high school friend of mine, great brother, great coach, great skills coach. He's been out here in Australia before. You guys have met him. He's introduced me to Coach Tim, and Coach Tim and I and Mel, we've had some long conversations over the phone. We've shot across a lot of ideas, and knowing the stage that Tim has, we came up with the idea of let's cross these stages. Let's cross these stages to create another stage, a bigger stage. And Tim's coming here, and he's coming here to look for some talent. He's looking for some young Aussie talent who may fit the bill, who may have the talent to be able to put their skills to test on Nike EYBL circuit. He's got access to a lot of other programs and circuits as well. He's also going to be here for 3 weeks, and he's going to be helping us with our Be Reps Ready program. So all of those kids now who are trying out for reps, and not just for the Wolves, you're trying out for reps anywhere. You want to get yourself ready, you want to get your skills up, you want to make a statement in your rep trials. Coach Tim, myself, and some of our coaches, we're going to be there. We're going to help you guys with your skills. We're going to teach you some basketball game situations. We're going to give you position-specific type of skills. And we want to give kids an opportunity to really, nourish their talents and harness them for the next 3 weeks, get them ready for their rep trials so they can showcase their talents in front of coaches and so forth. So that's why Tim is here. Like I said, again, he's out there, he's got his eyes, he's looking for talent. And yeah, we're gonna create a new stage. We're gonna create a new stage.
Yep. So let it be known. Put that out there. I'm looking for talent. I'm looking for the diamonds in the rough. I'm looking for the kids that the backyard basketball players, the guys and girls who got the basketball goal in the front yard and has been looking for an opportunity like this. I'm here and I'm ready to go. I'm at this every day while I'm here. I flew in this morning. I got to the house, I was exhausted. The coach called me, he was like, hey, we going to the gym. I said, let's go. I don't want to waste any time. If you special, you can play basketball. If you have a love for the game and you're looking to measure your talent against the best, hey, we have it. We're on the main stage and we can get you there. Not only can we get you there, but we'll put you in the right position to be successful. So if you're that and you're that person, I need to see you.
It's definitely a great opportunity. If you really, like you said, if you think you can make it, it's a perfect opportunity, no better place. So definitely, if you're watching this video, hey, go tap in, man. We're Sydney Wolves.
100%. What is something that what is it that you're looking for in a player? Like, what would stand out to you other than just like crazy skills, obviously?
Well, I mean, it's not always about skill set, because we can teach skill set. Skill set can be taught. So some kids, they just, at the end of the day, if you have a 50-inch vertical leap, you need to come see me.
Yeah.
If you can run a 4.40, so that's like if you can run the 40-yard dash in 4.4 seconds, you need to be in the gym. I need to see you. If you're, extremely athletic, if you love the game, if this is something you wake up doing and go to sleep doing, then I need to see you. If you love this game and you want to play the game, When I walk in the gym, I see a lot of kids playing basketball, and they love playing, but the love for playing and actually love to be, reach their fullest potential. Two different things. So I immediately start separating kids on that basis alone. And you can be really good, but this kid that's a little bit behind you, I can see the passion all over this kid.
Yeah.
I can see the skill set. I can see the attention to detail with everything that they do. And this kid's only 12, and you're 12, and you're here right now. But I know when his kid turns 16, his body's going to be there. Her body's going to be there. She's going to be taller. She's going to grow into herself, and she's going to look like this. So I base my decisions off of my eye. I came here to put an eye on it myself. I didn't want to hear it from anyone else saying, you got to see this kid, you got to see this kid. So we just said, scratch that, come on over. And my family and I, we came over so I could see it for myself. So I'll be here for 3 weeks all over Australia looking for talent to bring over to the Wolves and see who really wants to compete at the highest level.
Love
And
that.
if you're Nike EYBL ready, you'll get that opportunity.
Come see us.
Yeah.
If you think you're Nike EYBL ready, come and see us. Tim will be in the building.
Yeah.
He'll put his eyes on you. He'll see you. He'll give you some honest feedback.
Say it again.
They'll be playing against ranked players.
Oh, you'll play against you'll
I'm just like,
Yes.
yeah, you'll play against all the top ranked kids in the country. You'll be on the main stage. You'll be right where you need to be. So if you believe you're ready for the main stage and you want to play against future NBA players and future WNBA players, then come on out and I want to see you.
And what would be like your advice? Like, this is Coach Jenny's question, so let me see if I try and remember it. But my mind's blanking. Right. If you are like aging out kind of thing, would you recommend coming? Like, would they have a chance? For example, if you say, oh yeah, this kid has talent.
So what
and then,
age are we talking about?
so it's more like this is their final year to go to an AU tournament. So they're aging out to be seen on the platform, on the stage.
So if
The only way
they're
they can-
already 18 years old.
Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
18.
No, we still want to see that. Yeah.
But is there still a possibility just by seeing that kid once?
Can I tell?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I talk?
Well-
Would the scout or a coach, an agent looking at him that's trying to scout someone for a scholarship or whatever, would they base it on just that one game, or do they would have liked to see the development? That's pretty much.
That depends on the coaches that have their eyes on them, right? Because some coach might see a kid and say, well, I saw enough. That's enough. Yeah, I want to bring this kid in. Another coach might see this kid and be like, I may want to see more. But the thing is, if a coach is interested, yes, they may want to see more, and they should want to see more. So they'll put that athlete in an opportunity to do more. So in other words, they'll put them in scrimmage games alongside other kids that are either signed or getting ready to get signed and so forth. So coaches will put these kids in opportunities to really showcase what they can do, not just a one-off seeing them. But if the coach really has interest, I'm sure he's going to want to see the kid more.
If you're, I'll put an age to it. If you're up to the age of 21, you should be there. Or if you're like a kid who's really talented, but you felt that no one's discovered you, you should come, because this is your opportunity to be discovered. Because if you're 20, 21, then you can go straight to college. But you have to be college ready, right? Just because you showed up to play ball, just because you love the game, doesn't mean you can play on a college basketball court. If you can play on a college basketball court and we agree, we're like, man, this kid's ready, then you're ready.
Right.
We know what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
We know what it looks like. We put, just last year we put over 67, a huge number of kids in college. So, this happens on a yearly basis. So, if you're anywhere of that age where you're out of high school age and you're college age, you should come, especially if you can play basketball. Now, come ready. You can't show up out of shape. You can't show up walking up and down the court unless you're 7 foot.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you're
It won't take you that long to get down the court.
Right.
But
Right. So, but yeah, if you want to play basketball at the highest level, come out.
Yeah, so even if you're 19, 20, 21, come on out. And if you still have aspirations, like even some of the athletes who might be in the youth league space, who might be first year, second year youth league space, yeah, come on out. You know, if you still have aspirations of playing college basketball, by all means, we want to have a look at you. You know, Coach Tim and I, we will evaluate and we can let you know if there's an opportunity for you. We can let you know if there's an opportunity for you, for sure.
I love that. Sorry,
Yeah. Speaking on the Nike EYBL, I believe you captured 7 of 8 championships. So I just want to know from your mind, what do you believe separates your program from the others and allows you to win and accomplish all of those?
Yeah, we are a powerhouse program. I gotta say that we are. You know, I mean, that's not a secret. You know, people know who we are when we come through, and we take it very seriously. I think from the top to the bottom, I think it's a spirit of excellency running throughout the program. You know, we all expect the same thing. I think you get what you expect out of life. You know, whatever is in your mind and in your heart, it spews out into life. And then the reality of it is man, we put these teams together to win. You know, we play against a lot of other talent. I mean, these girls and guys, they're talented all over the world. But you know, winning just takes a little bit more, you know, knowledge and secrets to the game.
A unique ingredient.
Yeah.
When it comes to winning.
Yeah, it is a unique ingredient.
Yeah.
And if I gave you that ingredient, then you would beat me. So, I hold on to that. But yeah, winning it's become a culture.
Yeah.
It's become a culture. So what happens is once it's a culture, now everyone who's really serious about it, they come.
Yeah.
Because if you're serious about basketball and you love the game, the last thing you want is for a coach to waste your time.
Yeah.
You don't want no smoke, nobody blowing smoke. You want the truth. You want it real. That way you can get to where you want to go. And that's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I love that.
Yeah.
Gonna steal a question from another podcast I listened to. If you could tell your 16-year-old self one bit of advice, what would it be?
My 16-year-old self, I would tell my 16-year-old self, like, you're more than enough. You're more than enough. That's what I would tell myself. I think kids sometimes, they get, and even myself at 16, you get so caught up in watching what others are doing, and that distracts you from your journey. And the best of the best players, the best kids who turn into the best adults, they're just so tunnel vision on what the plan that God has given them. Yeah. Well, when you're distracted and you're looking to the left and to the right of what Kobe's doing or what Michael Jordan's doing, then I can't be Tim Bush.
Right.
You know, and so if I could go back and tell my 16-year-old self something, I would tell him, hey, you're more than enough. You have the same exact thing that everyone else has. Now go perfect it and go get it.
Yeah.
I really like that. What about you, Damien?
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, there'd be so many things I could tell myself. But I think one of the things I would tell myself is, don't be your own worst enemy. Like, and I think it kind of adds to what Coach Tim is talking about. You know, you don't want to beat yourself up all the time over things. You know, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong.
Right.
You know, and the worst thing you can do is be your own worst enemy. You know, you got to have that kind of resilience and resolve and say, hey, dust yourself off and just keep it going. You know, there will be tomorrow. You know, keep on and just keeping on. But yeah, I think that's one of the things I would tell my 16-year-old self. Don't be your own worst enemy, you know.
Yeah, I think that's an important one too. You know, you only have you in this life. You know, at the end of the day, you know, you're always going to be there with yourself.
Back yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Back yourself. So, yeah.
100%. Do you have anything else you want to say or ask?
Just kind of always ended off with this one. I know I already asked you, Damien, on the previous episode. Yeah. Just kind of, who's your personal GOAT, greatest of all time player? Or maybe even your favorite player even.
Oh, man. Wow. I argue this with my brother all the time. All the time. I guess I don't know. It's a tough question because, like, if you really give out, like, it's one thing when you're talking in the backyard with your brother, but, you know, GOAT, greatest of all time, it's just, you know, Kareem, Jordan, LeBron, you know, I had a chance to play Michael Jordan, LeBron, KD. So from what I saw, you know, Jordan is the greatest, but LeBron, the stuff he was doing since he was in 9th grade up until now, like,
yeah, I think, look, and not to take any away from LeBron's professional career, because yes, he's
from
great.
The 9th grade.
He's great, yeah. But I'm gonna get to that. But like I said, not to take away from his professional career, but I feel like LeBron was probably the best high school player ever. I don't think we've ever seen a high school player like LeBron. When he was in high school, I don't think I've ever seen or heard someone like that. But, you know, obviously his professional career is to be marveled as well. From the NBA, from a professional standpoint, as far as GOAT, yeah, I mean, Michael Jordan for me, I think still sits at the top. He sits in the king's seat when it comes to that. You mentioned Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think he revolutionized the game. I think the hook shot was probably the greatest invention as far as scoring the basketball. I think the hook shot, was probably the greatest invention, other than the invention of basketball itself. Because to this day, and it's funny because now you have guards using hook shots, which tells you that it was because you can't stop it. Exactly. So now you have 6-foot guards shooting hook shots when you had a 7-footer that invented it. Mm-hmm. So it was, to me, it was the greatest shot ever created. Because you can't stop it. And you want to know something funny? Kids today do not know how to do a hook shot. Man.
No.
They do not know how to do a hook shot. And I find it so strange because if they knew how to do a hook shot, they would probably score 10 more points. Especially some of the big kids. Especially those kids that are under 14s and they're head and shoulders above everybody, but don't know how to shoot a hook shot. If you know how to shoot a hook shot, kid, you would score 30 every game.
Easy.
Every game. It's like trying to teach these kids how to do a hook shot is just, it still baffles me. They don't know how to do it.
And I will say this, Kobe's up there.
Oh, yeah.
Shaq
absolutely.
Is up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
These are guys who, in my opinion, just are unstoppable, period. And the first time I met Shaq and had an opportunity to play pickup ball, I specifically switched on him to guard him to see what it was like. And he covered so much space. Like trying to get around him, he was just too big. And at the time, I was bench pressing like 430 pounds. So I'm pushing and I'm leaning on him, and it hurt. It hurt. So I knew right then and there he was one of the best bigs ever of all time.
Yeah.
So, but I always argue for LeBron, though.
Yeah,
I always argue for LeBron. because I hate how my siblings, my whole entire family, but me, they always Jordan. I was the guy. I was in the house when Jordan hit the shot on Magic. Like I was the only one in my house upset about it because I was a Magic fan.
Yeah, and Magic is another one you can't you can't overlook. Like,
yeah,
Magic
he's in there too.
Yeah, he's a great one. But personally for me, like my favorite player growing up, I had two of my favorite players in two different eras. First, George Gervin, Iceman Gervin. That was by far one of my best. I mean, I used to call myself the Iceman
because he's from up there.
Yeah, he that was always one of my favorite players. Still one of my all-time favorite players. And Kevin Johnson was another one of my all-time favorite players to watch, who I feel was probably one of the most underrated point guards in the history of the game. I'm sure you can ask his peers and they'll tell you.
Oh yeah,
he was a killer.
He was solid.
He was solid the whole time. So those are guys. But the league has had so many great talented players come out of the league. But George Gervin was the one that resonated with me the most because I had the jump shot and I knew how to do the finger rolls and stuff like that. I thought I was smooth like him. You know what I mean? I just didn't sit on a block of ice. But
yeah, I saw LeBron in 9th grade in person.
Yeah.
Throw a alley hoop pass from full court, and all the guy had to do is catch it and just kind of drop it in. Right then and there, I knew.
Yeah.
I always argue for LeBron. I argue everybody for LeBron. Even though I know it's Jordan, but it's still like, to me, they're two totally different players.
Yeah.
But I've seen like the things that LeBron does at his size.
Yeah.
Like, who can stop that?
Right.
Who gonna stop that?
Yeah. I still think he was the greatest high school player that probably ever was out there, because I don't think there was ever a high school player that did what he did. Like, no way. I mean, other than probably the second best high school player I can think of was probably Kenny Anderson, who I actually played against when we were younger. But yeah, he was, Mr. New York City. Probably, best point guard in his era, coming out of high school. I think he was the number one player in the country when he came out of high school with Georgia Tech.
Here's another thing for the kids out there.
Yeah.
LeBron.
LeBron. LeBron, seriously, LeBron could have played in the NBA by his junior year in high school,
16,
for
17,
sure.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, he was already a pro.
For sure.
He was already a pro.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, in high school, you probably never seen anything like that.
And he sustained it longer than any player that I know from that period up until now.
Yeah.
That longevity is crazy.
Come on. The longevity. And
that's
those are things that, I mean, he's still writing history now. So those are things you can't really overlook. His longevity, his longevity of success as a player. Like, it can't be overlooked. So, yeah, you're going to have your arguments of who's the GOAT. But everybody has their own GOAT. But
yeah, for sure.
I'm sure LeBron is a lot of people's GOATs, and deservedly so. So you can't take anything away from him,
It's definitely tough, especially with like how basketball's always evolving. You gotta like kind of take it in the respective eras. Like Wilt, for example, like he was killing them back then. But if I watch clips now, it's like he doesn't look that good because obviously he's not shooting and stuff. But that's because back then they didn't do that. So
do you see how high he was above the rim?
It's crazy.
When he was blocking
top of the
shots,
backboard.
you couldn't score on the guy because by the time he jumped, his head was at the top of the backboard blocking shots. Like, come on, Will.
Did you ever see him shake Shaquille's hand? Did you ever see a picture of him next to Shaquille? He's bigger than Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Wilt Chamberlain he's another one who, like,
definitely,
like this generation would not have a clue. And even like you said, if they saw it on film, they'd be like, this guy can't play. He's gross. But what he was doing back then, I mean, come on. He was, I think I think he had double digits in 5 categories in one game. I think he had like
never
some
see that
ridiculous, some ridiculous number like 31 points, 30 rebounds, 20 block shots. Like it's some ridiculous number he had. Like 20 steals. He had double digits in 5 categories in one game. Like that's that's different. That's different. So
It's crazy.
you know, kids can say what they want because they haven't seen that era. And yes, the game has evolved where if you look at the game on film then, it looks like these guys don't really know how to play basketball. But, I mean, Wilt Chamberlain was a superb athlete. You're talking about strength and athleticism?
Yes.
Next level.
Yes.
Next level. So, yeah, you got to give credit when it's due. But those are the pillars of the game. Like, all of these guys that we see now, they spawned from that.
Yeah.
The game just evolved, but they spawned from those greats, you know. So
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I actually have, since you like defending LeBron so much, what do you think of Bronny?
I'm a big fan of Bronny.
Yeah, okay.
First off, let me go back to Bron real quick. I wasn't a fan of LeBron. I refused to buy his shoes and those kind of things because he's younger than me. So how can I call a younger player the greatest? He earned my respect. He took that from me, and now I buy his shoes. So his son Bronny,
but you got on Kobe's now.
I do have on Kobe. Hey, these Kobe's are nice. I love Kobe. Don't get it twisted now. But Bronny, I think Bronny is they did a great job with developing him. I saw his talent when everyone was like, "Oh, he's not this." Me and my brother argue this all the time. I said, "Yo, Bronny is an NBA player. He was drafted correctly. He had the heart. People forget that he went through the hard thing, and that's a tough thing to work back through. Work back from, and you can see it now what he's doing in the summer league. He's starting to. Those guys kind of look like little guys to him, the way he's playing against them, because he really is that guy. But the only thing I need to see from Bronny is some sauce, But he is only, 19 or something like that, so he's still getting better. So I just would like to see a little bit more savvy from him from the point guard perspective. But he checks off all the other boxes. Yeah,
athleticism and all of that is there. It's definitely, it's all there. I just think it's a matter of time for him of finding that comfort zone and finding his niche and his way of how he plays the game and how he approaches the game. And we got to remember, like, Bronny's only like 6'1", right? Like he's not.
So speaking on that, while you saying he's 6'1", did you see the play in the summer league? They drop the ball off, he dribbles it, and looks like he's gonna lay it up, but he jumps up and boom, punches it.
Yeah,
he's ridiculously athletic.
Yeah, super athletic, right? And I think what people are failing to realize is, like, there's not many 6'1" guards in the league anyway. You know what I mean? And here you have, someone with incredible pedigree and athleticism, and obviously, the kid's got game. He, as a 6' or 6'1" guard, he's still got to find his way. He's talented, but he's still got to find his way. Just like any other 6'1" guard is going to have to try to find their way in the league now that's looking for all 6'8" guys. Like, it's like, and it's not, they're not overlooking him because he doesn't have the talent, but that's just the nature of the game now. You're going to have one team as a bunch of all 6'8" guys. And that's just the way the league is gone now.
Yeah.
The league, that's just what the league is doing. So but if you think about it, at his height, he's still able to find a place for himself. So it tells you that the talent's there. And it's just a matter of him fitting in the right place, right team, right time. And he'll get his stage. He'll get a stage to showcase what he can do. But he will have to develop his repertoire to be able to stay there. Because
to stay there.
Yeah, because that league, man.
Staying there
Yeah.
is harder than getting there.
Yeah, staying there.
Because you can get there, but can you stay there? You know, and I think he's gonna have a fabulous NBA career.
Yeah.
Like I'm a Bronny guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll find his niche because again, there are always going to be teams that will have a use for a guard like that, especially if he can guard that 94 feet and if he can create havoc on the offensive end where guys have got to keep rotating because he's breaking down the defense. If he can do that and then if he can hit the long ball, then yeah, I can see him.
Which he's been hitting all summer.
Yeah,
he hit all summer league long this summer. So
I can see it definitely kicking in for him. And then if he's a dog out there, you know, he'll have a career for sure. But
just because I like you don't mean I'm gonna buy your shoes. You got to earn that. If you earn it, I'll buy them brownies. But I'm still wearing his daddy's shoes right now. So.
Yeah.
All right. I got one more question, just a small one. You played in I don't remember how much it was. How many countries? Like Australia, Germany, China, USA. Which one would be your favorite country to play in and why?
Australia.
Hey, are you just saying that because you're here?
Australia was my favorite place. I played in some great places, but Australia definitely.
Why? Why Australia?
You speak English.
Okay, I like that answer.
It's easy to understand everybody. You know if they're talking about you, right?
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have any more questions?
Time to wrap it up, I guess.
Yeah, do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, we just want to see some talent. Coach Bush is here. I'm here. We want to see you guys come up to the Wolves. Remember, Be Reps Ready program starting August 12th. It's going to be running for 3 weeks, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sundays. Go to the website. Go to our Instagram. Check it out. Be Reps Ready. Tim Bush, Nike EYBL 7-time champion. You got to come. You don't want to miss it. Bring your energy. If you ain't bringing 110%, Tim Bush don't want to see you.
Yeah.
Hey. I think that's
looking forward to seeing you guys.
Pretty good place to end it, I think.
Yep.
Well, I forgot the ending.
Forgot the ending?
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and check out West Sydney Wolves, check out the program, check out Tim Bush, and peace out.